Well, hello there. How is everyone? I hope you're well, you amazing, beautiful, wonderful people. This is video 2 of 17. It could end up being 17. Could end up being 17, you know. Anyway, you're looking absolutely amazing. And I just want to cover this quickly. This is going to be about the Jay Slater situation, and it's going to be about the phone. Because, again, we're still seeing a lot of comments that are talking about the fact that there are content creators that are dropping like flies. They feel they're being threatened, which some of them are being threatened. I'm not sure as to whether they're all being threatened or whether some of it is about, again, creating content and it makes for a good read, I suppose. But look, there is one thing that keeps coming up, and that is with respect of Jay Slater's phone. You see multiple comments talking about the fact that Jay Slater was apparently found in one place, his phone was found in another place, the phone pings in another place, the phone was wiped, so on and so forth. Now, let's just put things into... Let's just clarify things, right? So Jay Slater's phone, in terms of pinging and where he was found, yes, those locations differ, because it would appear that the phone runs out of battery or communicates with a tower and offers a location, and then Jay would continue to move after that final phone ping. So people are confused in this situation, feeling that the phone is found in one place and Jay is found in another place. And that's not the case. That's not the case here. Now, what I will turn around and say, we don't know that, but there are clues. And if you pay enough attention, it would seem that some people are missing some very critical piece of information here. Now, some people are saying that the phone was wiped. It wasn't ever stated that the phone was wiped. There was an account that was a faked account that was proven to be faked that had stated that the phone had been wiped. Debbie, Jay's mum, had come forward and said that the phone sadly didn't have any photographs of Jay's holiday, and it would have been nice to have seen some pictures of the trip. So it wasn't that the phone had been wiped. She was more alluding to the situation that there wasn't really a lot on the phone. You know, there wasn't really a lot on the phone, which you could really, with respect of when you think of Jay and that final picture of taking a photograph of what seemingly is the floor and that towel, Jay was a big one for taking pictures. Was he? And what I mean by that, I mean for his actual phone being stored on the phone. Now, I'm not a Snapchat user, but as far as I'm aware, you take photographs, you upload them to Snapchat, and then they vanish. Is that what happens on Snapchat? So maybe that is why there isn't a lot of pictures on Jay's phone, because he utilises things like Snapchat, which I must admit, that's what our kids do. They use Snapchat, they're uploading to Snapchat. So if you actually get their phone and go through the photographs that are stored on the phone as in their photo album, there isn't a massive amount of pictures at all. But then they'll have Snapchat accounts where they've got 1 million points, whatever it is. So there is an element of that. But again, people are consistently seemingly trying to push that the phone was wiped or that the phone was found somewhere where Jay wasn't found. And it's these little things that then set the wheels in motion for bigger stories to come from it. And, you know, you have to pay attention and you have to follow everything. And like I've said to people before, you have to do your due diligence before you fall down a rabbit hole that's been created off the back end of a rumour that's got absolutely no foundation in reality. Do you know what I mean? But what I will say is maybe Jay Slater had two phones. It's possible that Jay Slater had two phones. I've seen some people say that. And yeah, there's no way to know whether Jay did or did not have two phones. But the argument would be, he didn't have any battery on one of them and the other one was also flat. And the reason why this has come up is because some people have stated that Lucy said that Jay had left his phone behind. She had stated that it had been left in the apartment. I've looked high and low over this, and if someone can send that to me where she said it, That would be absolutely fantastic, because I can't actually find it where she categorically stated that Jay didn't have his phone on him. Because obviously that would raise the question as to, and I've said this before, how would Jay ring her if Jay doesn't have his phone? And that's where this "did he have a second phone" comes into play. But with respect of the location of the phone and the phone being wiped, this would seemingly, certainly the fact that Jay's mum has turned around and said that there was, photographs, there wasn't any photographs on the phone, would suggest that his phone was indeed found with him, and thankfully not smashed to pieces. But there is also another rumour that just off the back end of the phone situation, where people are saying about Jay falling and halfway down his clothes fallen off as well. This is another one where they're saying that Jay's clothes was off. At no point was it stated that Jay Slater was found undressed. The terminology used was that Jay Slater was found with his belongings close by, and those belongings were most likely his phone, potentially his bag if he had his bag with him. So again, these are all markers for identification. And it could potentially be his shoes. If he has fallen and he's got trainers on, the chances are is that his shoes or a shoe had come off. But again, people read really into things. They talk about the fact that, was he... the identification process, how was that? And ultimately, you've got to think, if they found somebody and nearby is a bag and it's got a phone in it, for instance, and that phone is confirmed as being Jay's, and there's trainers, and the trainers are confirmed to be Jay's, do you know what I mean? But I thought I'd clear that up, because there are so many things. I think it won't be cleared up because people won't listen. People will not listen. But again, what you have to do is just pay close attention to the more credible people, the people who are credible. And I'm not saying I'm credible, because I can say things that are incorrect. If I do say something that's incorrect, I will come back out and let it be known that I've said something that's incorrect, however. And I also ask for your help as well. If there are things that I cannot find and I'm trying to either offer credibility to something or substantiate something, it is what it is. We're all trying to do this together. But the phone runs out, Jay continues moving, that then separates them two markers. And that's where you get these different locations. With respect of the phone being found at the beach, again, false. From what I can see, that was a false rumour, and seemingly Debbie has confirmed that the phone was found, and her statement wasn't that the phone had been wiped. It was simply that it was a shame that there wasn't more photographs on the phone that depicted his time while he was in Tenerife with his friends. Just thought I'd clear that up. Have a fantastic Thursday, and I'll catch you all in a bit.